Hey guys, it's Nigel. Welcome back to my channel. Okay, so I had to whip out the money incense for this one, guys, because I don't know, I feel really good about this. I feel really good about this. Lately, I've been really meditating on the idea, and lately, downloads have been coming into me for the past few months pertaining to this idea of abundance culture, abundance grid, the vibration of abundance, and also just the idea that we create the energy, right? So anything out there in the world that we want, and specifically in this video, I'm going to be talking about money. Our desired money is just a vibration away. Our desired income is just a vibration away. It's literally just a frequency away. I really hope this video doesn't sound too woo-woo, but yeah, I don't know. For a little bit of time, I struggled with if I was the right vessel to share this idea or this concept because one, I'm not a millionaire. I don't have the most money in the world, but my guides told me that I don't know. For a long time, I wanted to talk about these topics, these ideas, because I'm always getting flooded with information about free energy and free money. But for so long, I fought it, and I was like, no one's gonna listen to me talk about this because, again, whatever. But then my guides told me that the old way of doing business and the old way of being an entrepreneur was more so in a masculine way. A lot of the ways that we used to go about business was very masculine. And now we're stepping into the new earth model, or the earth, essentially the vibration is raising. So the way that we're going to be doing business and conducting business and being of service to each other is going to change significantly and drastically, and even in the next few years to come. And that is why so many leaders now, empath leaders, and if you're watching this video, you might be one of them as well, have been called to talk about these concepts and these ideas of abundance and the abundance matrix and whatever. So I have some things that I want to share with you guys. So the first thing that I want to share is, again, like I said, the desired money that you want or the income that you want is just a vibration away. I have to inhale on this one because I just get so high thinking about this idea of just abundance and buckets and buckets and buckets of money just flowing in. So the reason, the idea that sparked today's video is this. So this is actually just a deck of playing cards that looks like $100 bills, and I found this laying around my house. And as soon as I saw this, just the idea of money, of abundance, just started flooding into me. One, because it's golden, and two, because there are $100 bills on every card. Have you guys seen these before? You can probably purchase this on like Amazon. You've probably seen it like in a Chuck E. Cheese or like in a Dave and Buster's arcade where you would like win this as a prize. They're literally just playing cards, right? But they look like money. They carry the frequency of abundance. And when I saw them, my mind instantly went to my dream income or my desired income. And I got this message from the cards because I realized, and this is something that intuitively I don't know. I was watching a video by a creator that I really like. Her name is Mia Magic. And she was basically talking about, because we do live in the denser 3D world, sometimes we can use 3D items to channel messages from, so it's like, I don't know, if you were to believe in like, I don't know, Pleiadians or extraterrestrials or, I don't know, even the dragons, and you had like a dragon stuffed animal, and you could literally channel the energy of that dragon through that 3D object because you can see it, feel it, touch it, and it just, you can materialize those 5D realms through holding on to things in the 3D. So long story short, I found this and I said, I want to use this deck of $100 bills, of golden $100 bills, and I think they're just so beautiful and sexy and delicious, and I just love it. And I really can feel and invoke the feeling of my desired income, right? So when I found this deck of cards, it made me think of that video when she said that you can channel the energy of what you're trying to reach or touch or attain through plain 3D items like this. And something in me clicked, and when I saw this deck of $100 bills, I said, I'm going to channel my desired income. I'm going to channel the money that I know that I'm supposed to make and that I desire to make. But for whatever reason, there's like a gap between there and now. But then when we understand that there is no such thing as time and everything exists now, so there is a version of yourself now that is poor and has no money to her name. And then there's a version of yourself that is a multi-million, billion, trillionaire, okay? And the way to tap into those realities, because remember, all realities and all potentialities exist at the same time. It's just a matter of bridging the gap. We right now live in a certain reality because we have attracted it through our thoughts, through our words, through our actions, through our resonance. What we are experiencing right now is a collection and collaboration of that. If you want to tap into that version of yourself that is rich, that is financially well off, that is doing amazing, thriving in life, you must tune into that frequency, okay? So when I held on to this cards, I began to hear the frequency, and I'm not saying that the cards hold the power. Again, it's the intention that holds the power, so you could do this with anything. If you had a $100 bill in your wallet right now, you could hold on to that $100 bill and ask the $100 bill to channel to you, or to open up the channel, open up the communication waves, because it's all it is just communication. You need to communicate with your higher self, or with your more evolved self, your graduated self, who has gained the knowledge to get to that place that you want to be, and you ask them the questions that are going to bridge the gap and literally lay out the framework of how to get there. I really hope this makes sense. Again, it's a little bit of quantum physics, it's a little bit of multi-dimensionality, it's a little bit of knowing how to jump from where you are in the 3D to where you want to be. And you do it through your resonance. Okay, so let me continue, because okay. So yes, I held on to this, and I said, you know, what do I need to know? Like, how do I tap into the frequency of my desired income? What is the difference? Help me to bridge the gap. What do I need to know? And the first thing that was channeled into me was that your desired income is a vibration away, which means that in order to tap into that vibration so that you can live in that reality, you just have to know how to pick up on that vibration. So I'm going to kind of explain to you how I was able to do that. I said, okay, I counted. This is just a random side note. I really, really, really want to be able to generate $5,000 minimum doing what I love in a way that excites me, in a way that really makes me feel amazing, fantastic, incredible. And the old way that we used to live in reality, you would say, you have to go to a job, you have to do this, you have to do that, do all these things that nobody really necessarily wanted to do, but we were just told that if you get a job, then you can become rich. If you do this, then you can become rich. But again, that is mainly glorifying the masculine aspect of how to get things done, because there's a feminine aspect that says that you can attract it by holding the resonance. You can attract whatever you want by holding the resonance. Yes, there is a pairing of the masculine and feminine. Yes, you have to do the steps, but also feeling it and being in the vibration is even a bigger, if you're only doing the steps and not feeling good about what you're doing, or not putting that big, bold intention behind what you're doing, it's like a flop. It doesn't mean anything. It's not going to get you where you want to go. So, yes, in holding this, I realized that, and here was a message that was coming through for everybody, it's that if you want longevity, if you want to do what you love forever, and it is a matter of doing what you love, because you have to love what you do in order to even want to do it forever. In the new earth, we're going into a period of time where people are allowed and in fact encouraged to do the things that set their souls on fire, that lights them up, that make them, you know, happy to be here and happy to be human and happy to be a part of this experience. That is a part of the new earth. The new us, I'm saying us as in like even millennials, but even people who aren't just millennials, they're old enough and they're older and they know that the way that they've been doing it, okay. This sounds so extreme, but when I heard Amanda Flaker say it like this, I was like, I'm sorry, that makes sense. It feels like life is raping you when you feel like I have to do this, I have to do that. There's no other way. They tell me I have to do it this way, so I have to do it this way. And so you think you have to join corporate America, or so you think you have to, you know, do things that you don't want to do. And again, it feels like rape. It feels like you're being forced into this human experience where we know that we all chose to incarnate down into these physical bodies so that we can completely transmute the energy of how we've been doing this, of how humans have been doing this thing that we call life. We asked to be here in this time because we contain blueprints and new codes of how the new earth, how the upgraded world is supposed to be, okay? It's not supposed to stay the way that it's been. We're always supposed to evolve and evolve and evolve and evolve. And at one point, the way that we evolved was doing business in the old way that we used to do it. And yes, it was innovative and we got things done and we became, you know, big corporations and big machines, and we learned how to talk the language and look the part. But then we realized that that's not the only way to do it. So now we're kind of backpedaling as a society and going back for that feminine aspect of what we were missing in business. And what we were missing in business is the feeling aspect. How does it feel to, and honestly, business is literally just, if you go back to the basic goods and services, it really is fulfilling other people's needs. Entrepreneurs are entrepreneurs because they can answer questions in other people. These days, we've kind of lost it and we kind of think, oh, I just want a lot of money, so I'm just going to do whatever it takes to get a lot of money. Doctors make a lot of money, so I'll do that. Lawyers make a lot of money, so I'll do that. E-commerce make a lot of money, so I'm going to try that. You know what I mean? Thinking that we have to fit into these molds to get what we want. But in reality, there is an infinite. Think of the number infinity, millions, thousands, infinity, trillions of ways to get to what you want. So imagine, I don't know if this makes sense, but I'm gonna draw this real quick. So like this is where we are right here, right? This is where you are. And this is the desired lifestyle that you want to live, right? So in this bubble, this is where you are now. This is, you know, all the experience and things that you've lived up or learned up to this point, all the interactions and things you've made up to this point. This is who you are now. And this is who you want to be. This is the multi-million-dollar version of yourself. And even if you don't want to be a millionaire, because a lot of people don't want to be a millionaire, like, even me, like, I don't necessarily care about being a millionaire. All I care about is being financially free and being able to fully support the life that I love, okay? So that's this version of me right here, the version of myself who can fully support the lifestyle that she loves. Now, when I say there is an infinite amount of potentialities to get to this version, there is not one answer to get to this version. So a lot of people will be like, oh, if I want to be rich, I have to become a doctor. Okay, that's one potentiality. Okay, so one way to get there is to become a doctor. What's another potentiality? One way to get there is to become a YouTuber. Another way to get there is to become a scientist. Another way to get there is to become, you know what I mean? So there are a million, as much ink is in this pen as I can draw lines from one point to another. There are millions of potentialities, ways, bridges. Think of these as bridges. These are timelines, but they're also bridges. There's a million infinite potentialities of how to get from who you are now today, if you're not satisfied, to where you want to be. Don't think that there's only one way, there's only one shot, no. There is an infinite amount of ways to get to who you want to be. So how do you tap into the ways? When we talk about higher self, your higher self, okay, your higher self has already devised a plan, already devised the reasoning of why they wanted to incarnate here into this physical body. And so we kind of go through this phase of forgetting why we decided to come here, right? And so we're kind of going through the motions through our world, like, why am I here? Why am I here? Why am I here? Not remembering that we went through this period of forgetfulness, but our higher self knew why it wanted to incarnate here into this body. In fact, our higher self had an entire plan, a blueprint of the things that it wanted to experience in the physical body while it was incarnated into this physical body, your avatar. Okay? So when we talk about the highest timeline is literally just the timeline that your higher self chose and planned out, okay? This is your higher self's intention that you would experience in this lifetime. That's what we call it, the higher timeline, the highest timeline. This is the highest, the greatest potentiality that your soul incarnated here to do, or to be here for, right? But there is not just one way to get to that path. There is the most preferred way, the most comfortable way. Your higher self devised a plan that said, I know myself, and I know what I like and what I dislike. I know how I want to feel, and I know how I don't want to feel. Therefore, this perfect highest plan, highest timeline that I've created for myself is going to get me from ground zero to where I want to be in the most, not even the most comfortable way, because your higher self understood there would be complications. There would be fights between the ego, fights between the flesh and the higher self. And your flesh is like, I want to go this way. And the higher self is like, but I've already created the plan. I already know how we're supposed to get there. You're not listening to me. Hello, this is the plan, right? And so that is when we, we'll bump into like hardships in our life where we like, it feels like, oh, it's so hard to get this to work for me. Why aren't things working out for me? It's because your higher self has devised a plan to get you to where you need to be. And it's up to you to listen to the higher self's plan. And sometimes we don't listen to the higher self's plan. Sometimes we listen to the ego's plan. But where does the ego get its agenda from? The ego gets its agenda from the people around you, the places you surround yourself with, the people or the things that you listen to, the environment that you're in, right? So you might be maneuvering on a lower timeline because that's the way the ego wants to maneuver. Meanwhile, your higher self says, but this is the way that I've prepared it for you to do. So if you want to listen to the ego, if you want to listen to your lower self, you can, because you have free will and it's completely up to you however you want to live your life. So you can do it however you want to. You're always going to have that desire of, but I want to be there, but I want to be there, but I want to be there. But it's up to you, the decisions you make, how you live your life to get you to that place that you want to be based on the timelines. Now, how do we sink in and how do we anchor into our desired timeline? How do you anchor into the timeline where you're thriving and living your best life and a millionaire and a financially free and doing everything that you want to do like you wake up and you're just like, ooh, this is bliss. This feels so amazing. How do you anchor into that timeline? Remember, your higher self already knows how to get there. So doesn't it make sense to tap into your higher self? Ask your higher self, how do I get there? What did you do? What were the steps? Like you don't just ask a millionaire, how did you become a millionaire? Because again, there is an infinite amount of ways to do it and to become it and to do it. There's a million ways. Doesn't it make sense to do it in the way that feels the most authentic and genuine and delicious and luxurious to you? Doesn't it make sense to do it in the way that really makes you feel the best and sets your soul on fire and makes you feel like you came into this physical incarnation of yourself for a reason and for a purpose, okay? So that is the message that I got from my higher self, from the version of myself that I want to be. And I channeled that message through holding on to this physical item that to me holds the vibration of what I'm trying to manifest, a lifestyle of ease and of abundance and of not having to worry about finances and things like that. So the message that my higher self had and that the guides have, and now I'm saying the guides because I really feel like, again, there's this conversation about becoming free, financially free. And in order to be financially free, you have to become energetically free, because finances are energy. It literally is just energy. So the message that I got was, in order to get to that version of yourself that you want to be, you must, it literally is like latching on to a specific timeline. And how do you even perceive that timeline? It's through meditation. You have to spend time with yourself and meditate and set the intention and say, hey, I'm channeling the energy of my higher self. Higher self, you have your permission to talk to me and communicate to me. Let me know what is required of me to become my highest version. I see clearly in my head the version of myself that I want to be. What is required of me to become that person? What do I need to learn? What lessons do I need to learn? What do I need to change? How do I need to become more disciplined? And just sit with that question. Just ask the question, okay? Ask, what do I do? What do I want to do? Okay, what do I do that makes me this money that I want to generate? What do I do that creates this lifestyle that I love so much? What do I do? How did I do it? And that's another thing that I do is I literally will I will make myself that version of myself in meditation, and I will say, I am that version of myself right now. Everything I want, I already have. The apartments, the houses, the cars, the money, the finances, the income, the travels, the trips, the friendships. I have it. And then you ask yourselves the questions as if you are what you're asking for. So if it's a new house that you're trying to manifest, you become that version of yourself that already has it, and you say, what did you do? What steps did you take? How did you make this happen? How did you figure this out? Allow that version of yourself to answer the questions. You might have to practice with this. Ask yourself a few times. It literally is just channeling the messages from your higher self or from your highest timelines. And that version of yourself never leaves you. Again, sometimes the messages can become very distorted because the ego wants to say so much. The ego wants to object and protest and, but no, the ego, but what about me? But what about me? But if you can learn to quiet the ego and learn the sound of the voice of your higher self. Sometimes you can even say, learn the sound of the voice of God. God is the higher self. God is going all the way back to source. If you know that you are source, listening to your higher self is just another version of you listening all the way back to source. If you can listen to God, you certainly can listen to higher self, because higher self is just a more evolved version of the avatar that we have here. It's the avatar we have here in the 3D. And then there's higher self, the soul, okay, life source, prana, and then going all the way back is back to God or back to source, okay? So if you can understand the hierarchy, you know that you always have permission to tap into these versions of yourself to get this information or this knowledge. So originally this video, I had intended it to be about money and about finances, but this is a really giant key when it comes to finances, and it's that everybody has to ask themselves how they would do it, how their higher selves would do it, how they want to do it. And there's a million trillion, again, a million different ways to get to where you want to be. But how you do it is so significant, because you want to do it in the way that makes you feel like you are literally morphing into your higher self, literally merging into your higher self. That is why we are here. We are here to live that higher expanded version of ourselves. It literally is like the great merge, remembering who you are and merging back into that version of yourself. So you can do these channeling sessions all the time, especially when you're having trouble with your finances, and especially when you're trying to figure out what you can do to generate the riches that you desire or the abundance that you desire. Is literally just, if you can think about it, if you're closing your eyes, you're literally just like reaching up your hand to the higher self or to the celestial mother, whoever is up there, reaching your hand out and saying, hey, I need help. This is me extending my hand halfway. This is me meeting you halfway, saying, hey, this is what I need halfway. And literally, because this is your way of knocking, right? Knocking, letting spirit or source know, hey, I need help, and I'm trying to bridge the gap. I'm trying to make that connect. The more you get in the process of doing this, the easier it becomes to connect to your higher self. The easier it becomes to make decisions from that evolved place of your higher self, and also the easier it is to become that version of yourself that you want to be without having to do all these extra steps and ask all these random people who have nothing to do with your journey how to do it. You don't ask anybody else how to do it. You ask your higher self how to do it, because your higher self is going to tell you how to do it in the way that feels the most like yourself and that feels the most delicious to you. I use the word delicious because we really are meant to be making love to our lives. It's not supposed to feel like force, like I'm forced to do these things that I don't want to do. And again, with the rise and vibration of the earth, new earth is coming, and with new earth, it's birthing new ideas of how we're able to make our riches in a way that is pleasing and delicious and luxurious to us, and that makes us feel really, 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 really good. So that is all I have to say today. If you want to tap into that version of yourself that has the desired income, money, finances that you want, learn how to tap into your higher self and ask your higher self how to receive the blessings and abundance that your higher self has already picked out for you, already has in store for you. They know that you're gonna love it. It's like someone coming before you, and it's like your birthday, and they pick out your favorite outfit, your favorite shoes, your favorite jewelry pieces, and they know you're gonna love it, and they just have it in store for you in this little box. And this is your higher self. Your higher self has just picked out all these goodies, all these amazing things for you. And they want to give it to you. They put it all together in this box called life to deliver it to you. And it's your responsibility to learn how to unwrap that package, and learn to unwrap that package by learning how to listen to your higher self's guidance. They say, your package is hiding over there. Your package is at that job. Your package is with that person. Your package is check underneath, check, look around. And and when you get frustrated with your life and you make a decision based off of the ego and you lose your way a little bit, your higher self is still there saying, remember what I have in store for you. Remember those trips, those vacation, that income. Remember that dream lifestyle, that dream house. It's still there for you, and it's under the bridge, it's around the corner. You have to listen to those subtle messages that your higher self has for you, because your higher self is going to literally deliver what you desire to you on a silver platter. It's up to you to know how to navigate through this place called life, to literally just anchor in to that timeline, anchor into that resonance of who you want to be and what you want to receive in this lifetime. So I think in the future I will do another video about how to tap into that resonance, how to know what even the resonance is, so that you can tap into it. And literally it becomes like a game every single day, holding the frequency, holding the frequency, holding the resonance, holding the resonance. Literally holding the resonance is you walking on that bridge that gets you to what you want, or gets you to where you want to be. Holding the vibration is like holding that faith, that mentality that I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get there, I'm gonna have what I want, I'm gonna have what I want. That's literally you walking across the bridge to getting exactly what you want. Holding that vibration and that frequency is, I have faith, I'm gonna get it, I'm listening to my higher self, I'm gonna get there, I'm gonna get there. And then you get there by holding on to that frequency, holding on to that resonance, literally having integrity and knowing that your higher self knows best. So like when your friends tell you, you should probably, get a job, you should probably, do this or do that. If you want to do X, Y, and Z, you say, thank you for your opinion. I'm not open to, receiving opinions. I'm really only listening to my higher self these days. So if that works for you and your higher self, that's great. But I have to listen to what works for my higher self, and my higher self is pulling me into another direction. This is where my path is leading me. So this is where I have to go. Okay? I really hope this makes sense. I'm really grateful that I made this video, guys. For a long time, I just wasn't feeling inspired to make this video, but then I got this download into me, this concept of how to anchor in that desired income you desire. And it all came from using a totem item. This is my totem item. This deck of cards that looks like gold represents my desired income. And when I hold on to it, I can ask it the questions, You know, so I go into my future self and I go back in time and I said, what did I do on this day to attract that money that I desired? What idea? And you understand that money, income is generated through ideas. Okay, it's income generated ideas. The ideas are currency. Your creation is your currency. What you create is your currency. What you literally, your energy, what you use your energy to create is the currency. Remember, in the old model, we would go to a job and we would let them use our energy, and we would create something for their brand or their business or their company, and then they would give us money for that. It's the same thing. What is your energy creating? The energy is the currency. So what are you spending your energy day in and day out to create? If you want to become a millionaire, if you want to be rich, if you want to be financially well off, even if you just want a consistent $1,000 a week, like that's simple, right? Like, universe, please just give me $1,000 a week. Get you a totem item. This is what I did. Literally, when I said, universe, I don't want to have to struggle to make $1,000 a week anymore. So can you tell me, can you download the codes to me, higher self, the version of myself that's already done it before and is not even struggling with this anymore? Can you tell me what you did to attract and maintain that $1,000 a week? And let me show you guys what I did. I opened up my little box of money. And when I say it, like, the way you have to think about money, and I'm sorry I'm jumping from place to place because I'm getting so many downloads as I'm saying this, but the way that you have to think about money is it's constantly coming. Your money, again, is your creativity. So you have to ask yourself, what are you creating? What are you creating to make your money? What are you giving to other people? What are you creating that is helping and encouraging and driving and moving other people that is going to generate your income for you? Again, the entrepreneur knows that in order to become successful, they're answering and solving problems for other people. The problem that I saw that other people had was the problem that I had. And my problem was I didn't want to feel like I was being raped by life. I didn't want to feel like I had to get a job that I hated. I didn't want to feel like I had to join the workforce. I didn't want to feel like I had to do these things that I didn't feel like I needed to do to feel abundant, because I have felt the sweetness of abundance without even having those things, without having that $1 million job, or without having that, I felt the sweetness of abundance without even having any of those things. And I said, well, why do we feel so obligated to have this job? And why do we feel so obligated to have to live this way? And that's when it hit me. This is what people are going to be looking for in the future, in the new earth, in the years to come, in the time to come. They're going to want to pull themselves out of the lack matrix, and the lack matrix tells them that they have to get these jobs and do these things and waste their time and waste their energy doing things they really don't care about doing, instead of following that feminine energy that says, what feels good? Where's your soul pulling you to? Where's your heart pulling you to? Follow that. Follow your urge. Learn to follow your urge. But instead, we literally were like, I gotta go to school. Okay, and I gotta go to college. Okay, college says I have to get a job. Again, that keeps you on that masculine track. And there's nothing wrong with the masculine track. Like, again, sometimes we need structure. We need order. We need, to be able to set goals and set plans and execute them. But you don't do that until you first cultivate the feminine. And the feminine is like, what do I even want to do? Why am I implementing this discipline, why am I implementing this masculine energy before I even know what feels good to me? The feminine is like, I want to do what feels good. I want to do what feels right. I want to do what makes me happy. Like, did I not come here to enjoy myself? Did I not come here to enjoy my experience? Like, why are you telling me I have to do these things that I don't feel like I have to do? Do you not want me to enjoy my experience? And that's what I felt like my feminine side was saying to me, like, why do I have to do this? Why? And then I realized that I am literally just a reflection of, I'm the micro of the macro, and the macro is that next generation, of that next wave of people awakening to the fact that they don't want to do things they don't want to do in order to sustain their lifestyle. There is a way to sustain your lifestyle in a way that makes you happy and shine and so blissful and amazing. There's a way for each and every single one of us. We would all do it different. You would do it different than I would do it, than she would do it, than he would do it. We would all do it different. And we all incarnate into our physical vessels to explore how we personally would do it, and to remind each other that it's okay to do it in the different diverse ways that we're all doing it. Somebody might want to make a candle business and their soul is set on fire through the process of creating candles, okay? And they don't want a regular corporate America job because all they care about is creating candles. And then there's another person who all they care about is caring for animals, and they just want to heal the animals and take care of the animals and cuddle the animals. And there's a way for them to make their riches and make their millions and sustain their lifestyle by doing that, okay? So the old way was saying that we had to do all these, literally it's like doing all these extra steps to getting to what we want. We think we have to do this, and then we get what we want. But really it's like, no, ask yourself what you want, give it to yourself now and work on it and cultivate it and grow it and make it what you want. You can literally, there is not one, again, another way we've become brainwashed is to think that we get one career in our entire lifetime, and we have to hold on to that career forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, and that's all that we ever get to do forever. That's not how it's meant to be. We are human beings. We're human beings, which means we're meant to change and be resilient and constantly change. A hue constantly change. Think about a chameleon. A chameleon can constantly change, constantly fitting into new molds and new scenarios and new situations, constantly changing, new mindsets. Every time we grow, we're supposed to be able to change and morph and morph and morph and morph. So how can we possibly think we're supposed to hold on to one career forever? Like, what if I want to be a dancer? And what if I want to be a shoemaker? And what if I want to do this and this and that and that and that and that? And what if I want to be a content creator and a podcast maker and you know what I mean? Like, we're supposed to be able to explore all of our desires in this lifetime. That is what the physical experience is for. And we're not supposed to be looking at how each other is doing it, because again, we're all supposed to be doing it in a way that feels the best to us, to yourself, to you personally. So again, you can't really, it's not like you can't look at someone else's cheat sheet and see how they cheated their way to success and think you're going to cheat your way to success. Because you have to do it in the way that you want to do it. Again, like even if you want to be a coach and there are other coaches out there and you know that that is what you want to do, you don't have to recreate the wheel, but also you don't have to copy and paste the wheel either. You don't have to say, oh, that coach does monthly sessions and they do it like this, and I have to collect my payment like this, and I have to do X amount of sessions like that. No, you ask yourself, higher self, I know that you want to be a coach. How would you have me do it? How is your schedule set up? How do you like to work? And then you implement that knowledge that you download from higher self, and you make that your new schedule, and you make that your new resonance. The resonance I wanted to hold was that it can be fun and easy and exciting to create the lifestyle that I want, to generate the money that sustains the lifestyle that I want. And so I had to ask myself, how do I anchor in that resonance? What does that feel like to me? And then I found the things that made it feel like that to me. I had freedom. I had time freedom. I got to do what I wanted when I wanted. And I asked myself, how do those things feel? And then you literally hold on to the feeling. It's all about holding on to the feeling, and that is how you anchor in that emotion. If you can hold on to that feeling, hold on to that resonance, that vibration, the vibration of ease, of relax, of lifestyle flexibility, again, that is how you draw the line from, this is like literally opening up the doorway. Mastering your resonance is opening up the doorway that bridges the gap from where you are to who you want to be. So we're going to be talking a little bit more about like resonance and about anchoring in those timelines so that you can get to that version of yourself that you wanted to be. This video was way more longer than I thought, or that I anticipated for it to be. It's almost 40 minutes now, and I think that is far enough that we're gonna go today. So if this video was helpful to you guys, please give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you think about the content. Does it make sense anchoring in these timelines? And does it make sense about, again, the abundance timelines? And also I want to encourage all of you to grab some kind of item. It can be a golden deck of cards. It can be a $100 bill. It could be a wallet that makes you feel really good. It can be, what do I have? I have my crystals somewhere in my bra. Let me not flash you guys today. But for me, it can be, let me see, is it in here? Is it in here? Sorry, guys. A green crystal, right, that you hold on to. And the crystal can symbolize like abundance and how good it feels and how sweet it feels to not have to compromise or sacrifice for what you want. And every time you see that item, just hold on to that feeling again, creating the resonance, putting it in your electromagnetic sphere around you. That is your aura. And if you can make your resonance, your vibration ooze that intention, that is how you anchor in that timeline, my friends. Okay, oh, that was so exciting. I love that. I love that we got to do that. I'm happy that you guys were here to experience that with me. I'm grateful we had that little channeling sesh. I think that was good. So again, if you like this content, please thumbs up the video, subscribe if it's your first time seeing my channel, hit the bell notification if you don't see my video notifications, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.